This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to a very pleasant, glorious morning here in Djuma Private Game Reserve. We're giving you a fantastic view of the skyline looking north. So you're looking into Buffelshoek and then even further into the Mangaleti. And it's really not that chilly. Yes, it's chilly, but that cold front has left us, thank goodness. So I'm a little bit more relaxed this morning. Don't have as many layers on, which is wonderful. My plans today are just to bumble in a different direction, see what we can find. But we won't just be coming to you live from Djuma. We will also be coming to you live from Ngala and a bushwalk in Pridelands. So get ready, everyone. It is that time of day for your live bumble through the bush. Welcome aboard to your live safari. You will be bumbling on the back of my vehicle as we drive through Djuma trying to find animals. But if you look at that bright orange patch in the middle of the sky, the sun is about to pop up. We are literally about to catch the sunrise. It happens fast. Blink and you miss it. And it is a sunrise safari, so it makes sense that we look at the sunrise. But good morning, everyone. My name is Lauren, and I have BK on camera. There we go. That's Beaks. And sometimes in the morning, it's actually worth looking at the sunrise. Not just because it's a sunrise safari, but also just turning off that engine, listening. Sun travels. Audio is very clear in winter, clearer than in summer. Lions calling, leopards sawing, hyenas whooping, alarm calls, even the whoo of dogs. Sometimes it's just worth it. The engines are noisy, so moments like this you can really just listen. And before that sun does pop up, I just want to remind you all that the safari is live and it is interactive, so please do talk to us. We welcome all your lovely comments and wonderful questions. And if you're unsure how to get those questions to us, I'm about to tell you. You can use the hashtag WildEarth on Twitter, or you can use @FC on the YouTube chats, or you can head over to the WildEarth website. And as long as you've registered, you can submit your questions under the Live Safari page. The sun is really teasing us. It's coming. And kids, if you are watching this safari on a beautiful Sunday morning, please do talk to us. We love hearing from you. You send in your questions via email so that we're alerted to them. And the email address is kidsquestions@wildearth.tv. Tell us your name, your age, which country you're from, and I want to know your favorite animal. I think a person's favorite animal says a lot about them. We're just going to sit here for a moment or two, listen to all the morning sounds, and hopefully very soon we're going to catch a glimpse of that sunrise. Isn't that glorious? Beaky and I are going to sit here and enjoy the sunrise, but let's all take a look at the weather across all our locations.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to andBeyond and Ngala this morning. What we've managed to find very early on, we were just kind of sitting in the car park having a cup of coffee and heard a lion roaring nice and loudly very close by. So as we drove out, found one of the Ross males kind of moving in that kind of direction. He's managed to just kind of take it easy here for now, and he is looking like he's going to roar. I'm going to try and do a loop around shortly. But good morning, everybody. I'm Dan, and on camera this morning we've got Morgan. Morgan's first drive at Ngala here. Very, very nice to have him. Oopsie, sorry, I know I'm in the way. Morgan's first drive here at Ngala, and what a great start. Hear lions roaring, I mean, that's what we're really well known for. And to catch them roaring early in the morning, it was right outside Morgan's kind of house as well. And it's one of the Ross males. It's interesting to see them having separated from the pride last night. I haven't heard any early this morning I heard other lions roaring, but I wonder where everybody else has gone and where they've separated to. If there was a big carcass like I was thinking could happen last night, I'm sure this male would be on it. So it would suggest that they were unsuccessful in potentially their buffalo hunt. As this lion was walking through, though, there were a couple of Ngala that very quickly ran out of the long grass. I think he's just listening. He's been making these kind of soft grunts and groans, almost like a contact call. So I wonder if he's not trying to find everybody else this morning. If that is his goal, I'm sure he'll be able to find them shortly. He'll put his nose down to the ground, he'll roar and call and listen. It's amazing how camouflaged he is as well. And just from this back view, you can see how dark the mane is as well. Looks like the dark maned Ross male. The slightly more dominant brother, slightly bigger. And even with that dark mane and this long grass, camouflages perfectly. I mean, he's not trying to hide so much because he has been roaring and calling. And that will obviously bring everybody's presence or attention towards where he is, including ours. There is a nice big watering hole not too far up ahead, which actually might be a worthy check, particularly while he's sitting here and he's not moving and doesn't look that interested in moving right now. He's kind of he's still got another K, maybe 2 Ks to go to the big watering hole, but I wonder if the rest of the pride aren't sitting there. So I think I might do that. The sun is starting to rise. I might pop around to that water hole quickly, just see if the rest of the pride are there. In the meantime, I'll send you over to Dean to say good morning.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the beautiful andBeyond Phinda Private Game Reserve. What a beautiful sunrise we have this morning out in the south of the reserve. My name's Dean Carlisle, and I'll be taking you out this morning. And behind the camera this morning, we have Glenn. But it's been quite an amazing morning so far. So we were driving to this beautiful spot to watch the sunrise, and we were so lucky to have a female leopard walk out into the road in front of us. And we followed her for a little bit, and she then cut off into one of the blocks of bush, and we followed her as much as we could. But leopards, and it looked like she might even have been hunting this morning. So we were following her as much as we could, but then it looked like she changed direction. We carried on trying to follow her, but weren't able to follow her through the block. So the plan for this morning morning is we're going to be trying to work around in that area, trying to see where she might have gone. But leopards, when they're hunting like this, like I'm saying, they often change direction. They're really hard to follow. But we're going to do our absolute best this morning. While we in that area, we'll see what else we can find. So yeah, we're really looking forward to having you with us. And like we were saying, I was saying with Glenn earlier, this is live in the bush. We never know what's going to happen. So we're really excited to have you on the journey with us. But have a look at that sunrise. Just coming over that bank of clouds. It's quite warm actually at Phinda this morning, and it's meant to be quite a hot day. So early in the mornings when a lot of the animals we're looking for will be moving around, that's why we're out so early. And then they might look to slowly settle down as the sun that we're watching now gets higher in the sky and gets even warmer. Some beautiful birds calling as well. So it's a beautiful crisp morning this morning, and I can hear one or two birds calling. There's a common scimitable. A very repetitive pui, pui, pui call. But I think for now I'm just going to keep quiet and we'll just listen to the sounds of the bush. I can hear a rattling cisticola calling off over there as well. Look at that scene.
Good morning and welcome again to Djuma. It is a beautiful morning. We're currently watching a beautiful sunrise. We did drive a bit already this morning, tried to follow up on some tracks. We are currently on Triple M, which is a nice road to check in the morning. My name is Cedric and I have Davy on camera with me this morning. So our plan this morning is to bumble around and see what we can find. Very good start on the other property earlier I heard, so it is very good. Hopefully we'll also get a bit lucky this morning, but I think we're here to have fun and enjoy the drive. We're not going to spend too much time here. I think we'll continue driving. Yeah. Let's continue on Triple M and see if we can pick up anything. I heard some lions this morning in the distance, so we might try to follow up on that as well. I'm not sure if it was on Djuma or a bit more north on Buffelshoek. It is a very nice road, as I was saying, to check in the morning to know if the animal cross between the two properties. So then we can see and know which animal cross into Djuma or left Djuma. We did saw some leopard tracks this morning on the other road, and we lost the track, and we might think that this leopard have crossed into that block here, so this is why we came here to check. It is less cold this morning compared to yesterday. Yesterday was very misty and quite freezing, but this morning it's open sky, beautiful morning, and a little bit warmer. Apparently the buffaloes might have crossed back to Djuma, so maybe one of us will have a view of the buffaloes today again. It is a very big herd, so it's nice to spend time with them. Okay, so we'll continue on this road and see what we can find. In the meantime, we'll send you to Dan, who is on the move.
Everybody, welcome back. So I've just left that Ross male kind of lying down in the long grass, waiting, listening, trying to follow up with everybody else. And I'm going to loop around towards the watering hole. If any of those lions... Sorry, I just lost my earpiece. If any of those lions managed to catch something last night, I'm sure they'll be heading up towards this watering hole. There have been quite a few buffalo bulls in the area as well. Birmingham Pride has been hunting lots of buffalo recently, so it would be amazing to see them kind of come up towards here. I'm actually going to keep my radio on a little bit just so I can hear maybe, I know Yapi and Nick are also in the area kind of trying to help find, there was a duiker that just ran off. But the watering hole is just coming up ahead. It'll be very interesting to see if anything is coming down, or if anything's there already. It'll be awesome to see the lions kind of walking up, sitting around the watering hole, maybe with some full bellies. So I'm quite eager to actually just get there and stop it. Angie, 15 years old, always nice to, I think you said, start the show with lions. I can only, with? So I think it was lions. Anyway, it is always nice to start the show with whatever it is that you mentioned. Particularly my favorite is lions. So I'm going to just pop onto this side of the waterhole here, have a good look around. Kind of wait and see and listen. That Ross Mel was calling and he brought our attention towards himself. There's a couple of... Okay, well that's really good news. So Yapi, who I'm sure you all know very well, is helping us look, and he said he's just found a few of them, a few of the rest of these lions, and they are really close to this watering hole. They're just walking up the next road, coming towards here. Let me just tell him. Copy that, Yapi. I'm just standing by Clara Dam. So it might be 5 or 10 minutes or so. I don't know how quickly they are walking, but he says they are walking just up the road on the other side here. Beautiful still morning here at the watering hole. There are a few hippos that are sitting in here. And it'll be an amazing sight to kind of see the sun has just come up there as well, to watch them come down to the water here, have a drink, maybe lay around. I'm really hoping, because I'm sure the buffalo bulls that have been hanging around this watering hole are not far. And it was probably about a month ago that they took one of them down. I'm really hoping they kind of get a look at one of those buffalo before the buffalo see them. And then we're going to be in for an interesting morning. And they've been targeting them recently. I mean, they've killed about 3 buffalo in the past couple of weeks. We were chatting about it quite a bit yesterday, about how such a big pride of lions is they need to eat big animals like buffalo and giraffe. They can't just sustain themselves on impala. And I mean, I actually think this pride eats a lot of impalas, but because there's so many of them and an impala doesn't have so much food or meat, that it's done within a matter of minutes, and we don't ever really get to see that. We might just see the remains of it, or a lion with a reasonably full belly the next day. You know, if you catch a buffalo, you might be able to see them there for maybe a day or maybe even 2 days if you're very lucky. So I wonder if I'm actually not going to quickly pop out down to the next road, just see how far they are, because if they are like 10 minutes away, it might be worth... Sorry, just listen to that. Yep, he's got the same idea as me. And I just loop around to the next road, see if we can get them coming down the road and get a better idea as to actually how far they are, or I can get a better idea as to how far they are. So, I mean, kind of raising ourselves on this little elevation here gives us a really good vantage point to look down into the little valley below us here where these buffalo have been hanging out. If we can kind of predict this hunt before it happens, if it happens, I'm kind of assuming it's going to happen. I would love it to. These buffalo could be way ahead of us and still be spending time in the thicker bushes around, or have avoided these lions completely. But if we're very lucky, they're going to be hanging here and the lions see them.
Kate Gilman Williams is an 11-year-old girl from Austin, Texas, and we think she's amazing. At only 7 years of age, Kate went on safari and since then has become part of a new generation of kids who are fighting for animals. She has written a book, offered extensive support for a number of conservation projects, and recently teamed up with Microsoft to start a club. Kate believes that advocacy has no age limit and that if she waits until she's an adult, then it may be too late. Join Kate, who has traveled from Texas to sit with Lauren at the fire to discuss her work and how her generation can become part of the solution.
Hi, I'm Nikki, your guide here at andBeyond in Ngala. So my favorite animal in the African bush definitely has to be the zebra, because like people, with our fingerprints, every single zebra has a different stripe pattern. And, of course, a group of zebras together is called the dazzle. How unique is that? Come and join me or one of my colleagues here in Ngala for a sunrise and sunset safari on WildEarth.
This is a battle of two great carnivores of the African wilderness. Whew. Whoa! You don't want to be under those jaws. Definitely, this round goes to the lion. Look at that. Fantastic.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Hi everyone, my name's Daniel Fisher and I'm going to be your guide this afternoon. I'm looking really forward to taking you through and showing you all the beautiful places here at andBeyond in Ngala. If you have any questions, please register on our website. Once registered, go to the live page feed and post your questions underneath the live feed. Join me on my next safari through andBeyond and Ngala on WildEarth. Send me live questions through the WildEarth website and I'll answer them live from the African bush. Cool, welcome back everybody. So I've just left that watering hole and I'm just kind of driving up ahead here, trying to see if I can't spot these lions and kind of predict and preempt their movements, which often can sell you short. If you try and predict animals' behavior and think you know what they're going to do next, they will prove you wrong. So Yapi, I think, has just gone a little bit further east on this road. They were initially walking up this road, but there's a huge drainage line here that's uncrossable. Just want to see down there. It looks like two vehicles up there. Just maybe want to, let me check here quickly. Oh, there they go. I see them. Okay. There the lions are. Oh, no, let me go forward. Let me just have a look at them because they're going to head into some thick bush and they are heading right towards that water hole. So let's just quickly have a look here. And they look like they've got quite a steady pace as well. Okay, so, and there's one white one in the front there as well. So I've given Morgan a really tough job to do here. Looks like majority of them are those sub-adults from the Birmingham Pride. Looks like they might be, can't see for now, I'll have to wait a little bit until they get to the water hole. Here's one of the young males, one of the sub-adult males. He's just walking and they're walking steadily and they look like they've eaten something. I mean, that male's got a fairly full tummy. One, two, three, four. I think there's about 5, maybe 6 of them here. There's this one as well, yeah, Morgan, that's just come through here in the road. Lions are your favorite. In case you didn't know me that well, they are also my favorite. And what a way to start, particularly when they're moving around. And I know lions spend a lot of time kind of sleeping, and we've chatted about it yesterday as well, resting and conserving energy. But when they're moving around like this, there's purpose in their movement, and it provides for really good, exciting game viewing. Okay, so I reckon my estimation as to them getting to the watering hole is probably about 10 minutes. I'm going to do a loop around and I'm going to go back to where I was, and I'm just going to sit at that watering hole and kind of wait for them to arrive. So if you let me just reverse here quickly. Just give me a moment to just reverse a little bit. Oops. Okay. So I didn't do that J-turn very well. Super cool. Looks like some of them have eaten. I wonder what it was. We were chatting about impala. Looked like the lioness at the end didn't have as full a belly as the males, but they certainly have eaten something. And going up to the watering hole after a meal like that, even a small one, is what they would like to do. So So just driving down past the watering hole, I didn't see any buffalo. I wonder if they're not on the eastern side where these lions are walking now. And while I loop around to the watering hole, I'm going to send you somewhere else while I kind of try and position ourselves in the right place to see them have a drink, if they do.
Welcome back with us. We are currently at Impala Plains. So we pick up the tracks again, but unfortunately it crossed into Aratuza. So So yeah, this leopard crossed, unfortunately. But we'll see what we can find here. I think what we will do from here, try Zoe's Road and maybe check Treehouse Dam. It is beautiful this morning though. Really like the light in the morning. It's quite a lot of trees push over here. I know we saw quite a lot of elephant here the past few days. Like there were some buffaloes as well. Sorry about that. Hopefully we can find something nice on this road. Really want to see a leopard this morning or some lions, so that would be great. Not putting too much pressure on myself this morning, just enjoying and trying to have fun. Well, I'm having fun, and hopefully we'll bump into something. There was plenty elephants here. There's a little dike. It is very difficult to try to spot them on the camera. I think you want a little bit more left, but I think it's gone. Yeah, dikers are very fast, so as soon you come and they just run. It's not easy to get them. It's so sad that this leopard crossed there, but this happened. The only sad part, you spend a little bit of time looking for it, and then at the end of the day you can't follow up on it. Maybe we'll pick up on some more tracks and try again. It is a very nice sand on this road, so it's easy to see the tracks. Make our life a bit easier. Okay, so we'll continue here, maybe do Zoe's Road. In the meantime, we'll send you to Dan at Ngala.
Welcome back, everybody. So I'm just chatting to Nick. Okay, copy that, thanks. He said they are still on the eastern side of this watering hole. He said they're moving very quickly north. I haven't even got a glimpse of them, but it was like they were right on the edge of this watering hole. And of course, now when I predicted them to come and have a drink, it seems like they might even be bypassing here. They kind of walked down to the bank here, and then they carried on up. It's quite a big watering hole as well, so we've got to keep scanning, because one might pop out on the one end, the others might pop out on the other end. So we're just kind of waiting. What did I tell you about predicting animals? Okay, so while I'm waiting here and predicting animals' behavior incorrectly, I'm going to send you over to Lauren.
Surprise, everybody. The new generation of the Nkuhumas are on Djuma. Apparently the Nkuhumas are on a bamba, on a kill, and this is the first time we've gone live with the new generation. It's a very sensitive sighting, only 2 vehicles allowed at this point, so I don't really know how long we're going to be able to stay here, but let's just enjoy it as much as we can. They're right on the southeastern corner of the reserve, right next to Gwen's Den, where we were yesterday with Ndebele, so they could easily cross out. And if they do cross out, it becomes a lot more challenging. Oh no! Too cute. I haven't seen the Nkuhumas in so long. This is the first time I'm meeting these cubs. We will go a little bit closer in a moment, but there's just other vehicles and it's sensitive because the cubs are very young. But apparently there's a kill here. And BK thought he saw a male lion, right, Beaks?
We'll come back here.
So we'll navigate the sighting in just a little bit. Oh, this is lucky. But if they do go further south, they're going to cross into Chitwa. And we can traverse Chitwa, but it just becomes a little bit hairy in terms of management. Different channel, different radio, different rules. Safari Kitty, you're saying what a blessed, beautiful sighting. Agreed. We've been sitting here for quite a while just waiting. On Djuma, they're very strict about the protocol around dens and cubs and sensitivity, as they should be. So we've just sort of been waiting on the periphery, but this lioness came towards us with all the bundles of joy. WildEarth haven't seen the Nkuhuma cubs yet, I don't believe. Pretty sure this is the first time. I don't know what the kill is, I don't know how many individuals are here, but we'll get all that information. We just want to introduce you all to the new generation first. Okay, we'll be able to move forward in just a moment or two. You ready, Beaks? Okay, it's going to move ever so slowly. Let's see what we can see from here. Have all the cups all but disappeared? They've all run away. Okay. We may navigate around to the kill. They're on a kill. We just need a little bit of time to do that. Try and see if we can catch up with the rest of the pride. I can see one little head. But there were a lot earlier. Okay, we're going to try and navigate very sensitively around this sighting, but what a great morning.
Welcome back with me. We're currently on Philemon Scott Line. Looking around here. Sorry about that. There was some lion struck on this road which might be dogmen, so we're going to look around here. And see if we can pick up anything. We'll check again in front if you might have gone towards Trias Dam or maybe quarantined. I know that he liked to walk this road. Don't see any tracks anymore, unfortunately, on the left hand side there. So you might have started walking on the side of the road. But it was going in that direction, so we'll check. I think I see trucks on the left there. I'm trying to not drive on the tracks for other vehicle. Okay, we'll try to find him. Fortunately, we might be lucky, and we'll send you to Lauren in the meantime.
We're just listening to some audio here. Look at the cubs. Lion cubs. Isn't this just adorable? Cuddle puddle, a very noisy mobile one. Listen to them all, very vocal little guppies. You are going to have to help me, everyone, with who the mothers are. I have really not seen the Djuma Pride properly in a very long time. They've shifted down south. If anybody knows exactly who the mothers are, please help me out. Hashtag WildEarth. The grass is still long here. I think we're seeing more than enough. And it's bringing back memories, guys, of 2019. Jamie and James and Tristan and Oh, I can smell the kill. Can you smell it, Beaks? I wonder what it is. Okay, we're going to now navigate around the rest of the pride and the killer at this side. I think there's possibly a male. But let's just see exactly what's happening. I can see Tony bodies. better view of our Nkohumas here, and we're going to send you guys over to Dan with his lions.
Okay, welcome back everybody. So, very interesting here. We've got 2, 4, 5 lionesses, 1 cub at the back there, all at the watering hole now. Those subadults that we saw initially, they've apparently gone very highly mobile, very quickly north. These lions also aren't that interested in drinking. And I wonder if they're not being chased. Look at all these little cubs coming through. Wow, this is actually incredible. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 lions, all coming down. The cubs kind of keeping at the back with the male, keeping a good lookout for them, and they are in fact having a drink there, or at least 2 of them have. Just kind of looking at their bellies, trying to see. They don't look like they've eaten anything significant last night. Maybe something small, but how amazing is this? All of them coming down towards the watering hole. All the cubs looking great and healthy. The male, he's just kind of scent marking at the moment, asserting his dominance. And I think those young ones, those subadults that we were just with, the reason they're going so quickly north is because of this male. And you see, he's busy scent marking on the tree there, rub his face up in there, make sure that his scent is well and truly in that bush, and that any other lion that comes through and has a smell in this area will know that he's the boss. And it's quite amazing. All those cubs of us are going to go and have a drink now. Wow, this is so special. Sun has just risen. What a scene. 15 lions, a serious portion of the Birmingham Pride, and there's also still 1 lioness that's kind of up in the front that's going ahead. But isn't this amazing? All of them, the light on the backs of them. It looks like they're still very interested in moving away from the watering hole here. I'm sure they're still on the hunt and on the lookout for food. And you'll see during the winter time a watering hole like this, particularly in the eastern parts of our property, there isn't that much water around, so the general game might be quite high. Particularly from now on, getting a little bit warmer, might be quite high around this area, and there'll be lots of... Look at how these lionesses have actually just stopped. They're looking to the right-hand side, they're listening, they're smelling. Just trying to see if there isn't an opportunity for some food nearby, and I'm sure there will be. They just need to be in the right place at the right time. And if they do spot an opportunity, they do have an opportunity, it'll be hopefully a bigger animal and that everybody can get a good feed. Okay, everybody, I'm going to try and keep up with these lions, and I'm going to send you over to Lauren with her brand new cubs.
We've got a view of the Pride. We're just going to let a vehicle pass, and BK will beautifully show you the skyline. Oh, there's a male lioness, not dark mane.
Good morning.
Sorry everyone, we're just repositioning. Okay, we're not going to be able to stay here for too long, so I'm just going to maneuver in, get a good view of who's here, show you all the cubs, and then we may pull out. So just bear with us. But there's a male there, and it ain't dark mane. It's either blondie or mohawk, I would imagine. Sorry. Oh, this is just a bundle of joy. Jared, who was that update from? James Richard, thank you. You, oh, look at that. Jumping on the back. You're confirming the tattered-eared lioness. Okay, thank you. I do know that lioness very well. Look at this. I did not expect this morning. I have no idea what the bamba is, what the kill is. I also don't like using the word kill, but when you're on the radio and terminology out here, you have to make sure that everybody understands. There's just sort of terminology that's used on the radio, but I don't really like that word. No, the two males are here. My goodness, I wonder if this is Blondie and Mohawk. I haven't seen you boys in a long time. You see that cub trying to get the tail? There's a huge lineup, so after this we will leave. We'll try and see if we can come back later. If not, we've always got this afternoon. Flower, you're saying your heart is melting. Mine too. I haven't even done a cub count, but there's a lot of teeny tiny little bodies. It can't just be one lioness, so I'll need to get to grips with who the mothers are. But I'm afraid we will have to call it. Everyone will have to make space for other vehicles. But let's hope we can come back later, and let's hope they're here this afternoon. What a wonderful morning, everyone. I'm very happy we could share this with you all.
Yeah, I believe there is one mover from membership on the line.
One thing that WildEarth strives to achieve is to connect kids with our natural world. One person who agrees with this is Kate, an 11-year-old girl who founded Kids Can Save Animals to help inspire her generation to help mend the planet. Her motto is that kids may be young, but age does not define your impact. Kate is coming all the way from America to join us at Djuma for a live safari. She wants to connect with all of the WildEarth kids, answer your questions, and help you understand that there are plenty of ways that you can make a difference, regardless of your age. So join us on the 4th of August at 2:30 p.m. Central African Time for a very special kids safari.
There's a grounding earthiness to this place that we feel in our ancestors. It's a place where, believe it or not, we evolved as a human species, and anyone who's come to Africa will understand that. The connectivity that the continent has to the person and to people's souls is next level. I'm thoroughly looking forward to taking you on your next adventure when we explore all the small and big things.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
Looks like it's a very difficult climb because every time it tries to climb, the ground is breaking, so it slides down. But it's the only one. Look at that. That is a call of desperation with a cub. It's like, what are you doing, mommy? Oops. Oof.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Hello, I'm Marna, your WildEarth safari guide from andBeyond Ngala. What I really like about connecting with WildEarth viewers is that we get to speak to viewers instantly, and I get to show you this beautiful property. If you want to ask me a question, register on the WildEarth website. Simply head over to the live safari page and you can submit your questions there. Join me or one of the other guides twice a day on WildEarth.
Yeah, so we found dark men at Treehouse Dam. We lost the tracks on Philemon Cut Line. We're not sure if he went into the block, so we decided to come check here, and it was the right decision. He's sitting on the dam wall at Treehouse Dam. Awesome, I'm very happy to see him. Yesterday I had a question, I think it was 2 days ago actually, and the question was, what is the most exciting part about tracking? And my answer was to find the animal. And so this is exactly what it is about. We found the track, lost the track, check around, and we found the animal. So that was quite nice. Yeah, looked like he walked a bit, because he was at Haratuza yesterday. And so I had the feeling that he was going to come here. So nice to see him in the sun there. There's a vehicle approaching us now, so there will be a little bit of noise. Oh, I'm feeling a bit better now that we found this lion. It was a bit stressful this morning. Didn't get lots of luck with the sightings for the cats, so it's nice that we found him. It'd be quite nice also if we can start roaring. But I think it's getting a bit late now, but we never know. I must say it is very peaceful at the dam this morning, and we are in a very good company. Male lions can get very big, up to 200, 260 kilogram, and they are of course very powerful. The dog man is about 8 years old, so he's fully matured. Looks like he's very relaxed there. Elizabeth, indeed, yes, today is a very good lion day. Yeah, there are a few lions a bit everywhere. That's very nice, from our big male there to the cubs. And also on a kill, so this is very nice. It's It's very intense when lions look at you directly in your eyes. It can get a bit scary. Ah, beautiful face, huh? So if you look, the tip of his nose is completely black. This is how you can know if the lions are fully matured or not. If they were not fully matured, it will be a little bit pinkish on the tip of the nose. You have a beautiful mane. There we go, lying down. Looks like he might spend the rest of the day around the dam. Oh, it's always nice when you find some tracks and you find the animals you're tracking. It can get a bit frustrating sometimes when you lose tracks and when you can't find the animal. Maybe he came to drink also here earlier. Okay, we'll spend some time, maybe reposition a bit to see if we can get a better view. In the meantime, we'll send you to Lorraine and Chitwa.
All three of the avocas are on Djuma. How fascinating. We have now come to Chitwa. I think we've got andBeyond here, our little Chitwa girl. Hello, beautiful. Are you on your way to the lion kill? I think you are. The lion sighting is very close to Chitwa. Really, really close. We're going to just hang around this area. Once the sort of busyness, the excitement, it's the first time everyone in the north is getting to see the cubs of the Nkuhumas. So once the excitement's died down and everyone's had their sort of fill, we may try and go back. That was a short sighting. Ah, what are you smelling? I wonder. I know exactly what she's smelling and where she's going. We saw your brother last night in andBeyond. He was following dogs. Let's see if we can get any more views of her. andBeyond is always on Chitwa. Apparently she's always in their lodge. Swazi's always in our lodge. She's following our nose. She's going to go right to that cut line. But there's a lot of lions. I really hope the avocas reunite. I was having an interesting discussion with Rexon. Dark Mane seems to be shifting more south than he ever has. Let's catch up with andBeyond. And it seems to be that the pressure in the north is very intense right now. We can't traverse Buffelshoek, which is really terribly sad right now due to signal. There's a lot of pressure. The Mbali Pride are coming south. There's 21 of them. 21! And they're putting a lot of pressure on the Talamatis. Apparently yesterday there was lots of fights between prides. I don't have the details, so I don't know exactly what happened, but there was lots of fights in Buffelshoek yesterday, and it's between the sort of Mbali Pride that are pushing, and then the Talamatis are obviously coming further down south. Is that because of the Mbali Pride? I'm not sure. But it's sort of believed in the area that Dark Mane's now going a little bit further south. He's trying to join up with these brothers. I'm convinced they're still a coalition. I don't think they've separated at all. They don't see each other, but they're still a band of bros. He needs those boys now. He's been on his own. He's been living life with the Talamatis, having the best time. But Dark Mane needs those boys, and they're really not far away from one another. As far as I know, Cedric's with Dark Mane at Sandy Patch. And I'm just going to get my map out. Okay, peaks. There we go. It's a little bit dusty. Okay, this is Djuma. And Dark Mane is at Sandy Patch, which is here. See? Sandy patch. Very close to Gowrie Gate. Oh, my shadow's in the way. So it's on the northwestern corner. Now from Sandy Patch, the Incohumas are on a kill right now, I would say here. Gwensden, which is very close to Gowrie Main Cheetah Cut Line, right opposite Chitwa. So they're at opposite ends of the reserve, but still it's close. It's far closer than they have been in a while. And therefore, I think they're going to reunite, and I really, really hope that we get to see that.
Welcome back to andBeyond Phinda. We're down here on the beautiful Mzanene River. I think let's just sit quietly here at this beautiful scene and listen to the sounds of the bush.
Okay, welcome back everybody. So I'm just going to try and get these things to mind the camera so we don't break it. It seems to have done that. Oh, there goes my hat. So welcome back everybody. Thanks for the patience there. So these lions are like heading straight north very quickly. Nick even says that the subadults that we saw first thing this morning have already crossed over the boundary into the Kruger Park. And these lions, these 15 lions, are straight hot on their heels, heading that way as well. I wonder what's up there. I wonder if they're not in the process of trying to chase those subadults or if they are just desperately looking for food. So they headed into a really thick area with black monkey orange, which is a really tough tree, these small ones that I've just driven past now. So to try and off-road around those and through those is almost impossible. And yeah, so I'm not going to keep following them. I might try and loop around, make sure that they have in fact crossed out. So I'm on my way back towards that watering hole, and you'll see when you kind of get deep into these blocks, and this block, essentially a block is an area between the roads, like where I'm driving now is inside the block, and when you get into these blocks you can get quite lost or temporarily disorientated, as we like to say. But what I'm doing now is, if you have a look on the left here, is what we call a game path or a game trail. This very prominent game trail just going down, and because of that watering hole and it's kind of dry and in the winter, this game path, very prominent. It's the path of least resistance that these animals have created over centuries of using kind of these paths down towards watering holes and things like that. So I'm just going to follow this game path, and there's another big main one that takes me through there, but this game path will take me back towards the watering hole if I stick to it. I'm hoping that it doesn't take me through too many hectic areas. So Nick just heard that update. He's just found those lines again, but they're like right on the boundary, far away from where I am right now. It looks like they're about to cross into the Kruger Park. Nick's guess is that there might be a carcass out in the Kruger Park. I think that's a fair guess. I've seen, when you see lions moving like this with such purpose, there is a good chance of there being a big carcass, maybe like an elephant carcass or something. Let me go and take this part of the game path. It looks a bit intense there. So yeah, looks like a bit of an easier route here. And this game path will take me straight towards, and you'll see the closer you get to the watering hole, the more the game path, or the more prominent it will become, just because that's the amount of animals. They're kind of coming from all around to this one point, and the closer they get to the watering hole, the higher the density of animals on the path will be. So I'm going to keep going, eventually hopefully get to the watering hole. In the meantime, I'll send you over to Cedric.
Welcome back with us. We just decided to move quickly and reposition to maybe get a high-level view. I'll be fine dead over here. Yeah, so it's quite nice where we are now. It's always nice to see lions which is at the same height as you.
We are getting to Gary.
Might be some activities on the left there. I'm not sure what's going on. There's a vehicle checking on the left-hand side of us. When I can, I will follow up on that. He is a beautiful lion. I'm sure he still has his limp when he walks. Hillary, yes, Darkman is looking strong, healthy and majestic, yeah. It would be nice also to see him move, but I think he's going to stay around here for the day. But you never know. But it might stand up and go lie in the shade a bit later. Sorry, I'm just checking on the left-hand side. There's some activities there. Just want to check what's going on. You can see also Darkman was looking in that direction. I can't see anything for now. The sun is getting quite warm now, which is welcoming. Janine, you would like to know if I think he's away from the pride because of the new cubs. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who is the father of these cubs that we had the sighting this morning with Lorraine. I'm not very familiar with this pride Lorraine was with earlier. But yeah, what can happen if it is not his cub? He might join the pride, and it can happen sometimes that they kill the cubs, which is not very nice. But he will do that just to mate with the other females and spread his gene in the pride as well. Also, by killing the cubs, white lions does that it will allow the female to get into estrus quicker. I'm looking into the bush there. I'm sure there's definitely something there because both vehicles went there. Didn't hear on the radio yet. But what would be quite nice if there's another cat there, maybe a leopard, never know. Oh, there it is, a honey badger. Yeah, a honey badger in the opening there. How cool is that? Sorry, we're a bit far us, we're next to Dogman, but look at that. Very nice. It's a great morning. It's probably coming to drink now. I hope he's coming to drink. Never saw a honey badger drink before. They are very tough animals as well. They're not really scared of lions or anything. There we go. Awesome. I know that Lauren had a great sighting of a honey badger last time at night. It's so great to see one during the day. Very relaxed. This is pretty cool. Most of the time I drove near Treehouse Dam, it was quite quiet, and today we're being very lucky with a lion and a honey badger. So in some areas of the Kruger Park, they like to stay around the camps, and they often go into the dustbin and try to find food, so they get quite tame at those camps. So you still have to be careful at night because they can be quite aggressive. Went into the hole there. Hopefully he will come out now. Yeah, they are so strong. Even when they get bitten by a snake, sometimes they just pass out and then stand up again and continue. It is very exciting. What a great sighting. I love the way they walk. There he goes. How awesome was that? and we're back with dogmen. That was quite entertaining. Sometimes you spend time with lions and they don't do much. Like now, they are very pretty, obviously, but still good to have something happening on the side as well. I think we'll stick with dogmen for now, and maybe a bit later check again on that honey badger if he's still in the area. The sun is nice and warm, but the wind is still a bit chilly. Okay, so we'll stick around here. In the meantime, we'll send you to Dean in Phinda.
Welcome back to andBeyond Phinda, everyone. So we tried to find that leopard that we were following this morning, but we couldn't find her. She'd gone into quite a thick area. And we then just made our way along a river down in the southeastern section of Phinda, and we found a herd of buffalo. And just at the back of the herd of the buffaloes, this young one. So if you look closely, you can see those little horns coming off just the top of their head. And look at how they're so fun and full of energy around this age. Also a bit camera shy, it seems, just popped into the thicket a little bit. But right at the back here is that little calf with its mother. You can still just see the movement through the thicket. But I think what I'm going to try to do is just reverse a little bit to allow Glenn to watch them. They might even cross the road behind us. Will you get a shot from there, Glenn?
Yeah, we can try that.
Okay. Let's give that a go. There you can see the mother with the calf. Have a look at that big nose and those really curved horns. And they're really protective mothers. You can see how the young one's staying quite close, and they're moving through those thorns like it's not even hurting them. They're really hardy animals. But there was quite a big herd, and these ones were just at the back. It looks like they're slowly disappearing, but they'll definitely join up with the rest of the herd. And when they do, they form a really big, powerful unit. So if any predators, like the lions that you've been seeing across the other areas this morning, if they were to come and try take on a calf like that, the whole herd would come together. And they'd close ranks and they'd walk up towards these lions, lifting their noses, smelling, and then they'd even charge the lions. But really nice to see them down here on the river, so I think we'll move around and see if we can get a little bit of a better view. So it looked like they were running quite quickly off to our right. And you can see through the grass here, there's quite a few trails. And that's where a lot of these buffalo have crossed off in this direction. In the road, I can see lots of their tracks. I'm going to just stop and switch off and hear if we can still... And hear if we can still... can still hear them moving off to our right. But it looks like they've gone a little bit further into an area where we're not going to be able to follow them. And I think they'll be moving maybe to have a drink this morning. Buffalo are quite water dependent. So for now, we'll leave these buffalo and see what else we can find.
Hi, I'm Dee from the south coast of England. Today I was told I have won the most amazing prize to go to Marataba. Oh, I can't believe it. I became hooked on WildEarth last year when I was trying to escape COVID, and animals are my thing. I just love them and I love what WildEarth does. So that's why I wanted to become an explorer. Just so looking forward to going out to Marataba. Want to do a walking safari. Thank you so much, WildEarth.
WildEarth Explorers. It's in your nature. The importance of forests cannot be underestimated. Over 1 billion people live in and around forests, depending on them for fuel, food, medicine, and building materials. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, is the national implementer for a program called LEAF. The LEAF program makes use of indigenous forests grown on school properties to teach pupils about biodiversity. This directly instills a sense of ownership of the natural surroundings and reconnects children with our biomes and heritage. WESA needs your help to bring nature back to schools. Ask your school to join the program through the link on their website. Together with WESA, you can help take this incredible program to schools across the country.
Okay, there's another big male coming in from our left here. Another big male, look at this. This is the one. Now you're going to see sparks fly, guys. Guys, it doesn't get better than this, eh? Yes, unbelievable. Africa, I love you, eh?
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Yeah, so we did reposition and this honey badger is still here next to the dam. Looks like he's grooming himself. It's not often you see a honey badger which is relaxed like that. This is very cool. Yeah, so it was the first time for me to see a honey badger drink at the dam. Okay, so let me just reposition quickly, try to get a better view. I did got a spot open there. Yeah, we're a little bit closer now, so... This guy is just chilling there. Oh. They're more active at night, so it's very nice to see one during the day. Looks like he's sitting there. So you would like to know if they sleep in also in the bush. It depends. Can be a bush also in a hole. They like to spend some time in holes as well when they sleep. So it all depends, I think. Sometimes this is why it's important that we have elephants as well. When the elephant push trees down and the grass that grows around the trees, it makes a very safe space for the smaller animal to find cover there. So they might sleep under a bush, but I think in a hole would be a bit more comfortable for them. They're not very scared of anything, so I never saw myself, but before we have been report of many badgers fighting with the whole pride of lions and still get away from it. Yeah, because I don't see them that often. I'm not very familiar with them. So it's always nice to see animals you don't see often. And you can learn a bit more on their behaviors, etc. Looks like it's lying there. It might spend the rest of the day here, never know. They are very good diggers as well. I think you saw that with Lauren, was digging for something to find to eat. I apologize about that. Very, very nice sighting here. Very lucky. Okay, so we got a opportunity to go a little bit forward. So let's do that. Checking, apparently there's a big hole in front of us. Okay. Like it's just lying there. It looks like it's very relaxed there. Darkman went off the dam wall just at the back, so it looked like it's going to spend the day there. Oh, it would be nice if we can stand up again and do some entertaining stuff. Looks like it's going to sleep. So we can weight up to 12 kilograms, which is quite light, but they are very strong. It's like a tough ball of muscle. And we can live up to 20 years, which is quite long. I was saying earlier, like you saw with Lauren, we can dig very well. Obviously, they will dig to find food, such as scorpions, for example. It looks like it's that time of the day, or anything is going to happen. Dogman is lying that side. We have the sunny badger lying there. So we have a very big variety of food, from snakes, lizards, spiders, scorpions. This is why they often find digging. And they also scavenge sometimes. I would love to see a baby honey badger, actually. We normally have two youngs at a time. Can be one sometime, but it would be quite cute to see one. Okay, we'll stay a little bit longer with this honey badger. Hopefully it will start moving. In the meantime, we'll send you to Lauren at Chitwa Dam.
What a drive this has turned out to be. We've just been watching 2 adult hammerkops and a young one. But sadly, they've disappeared. But Beaks, listen to this hoopoe up here on this dead tree where sometimes a fishy ghost sits. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it, but the hoopoe, hoopoe, hoopoe. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So I lied to you earlier. I'm so sorry. I'd never lie, but the tracks were called in at Sandy Patch. The Avoca males are actually closer than we thought. So this is, oh my goodness, it's so dusty. I'm sorry, BK. These cars are very dusty. This is Treehouse Dam where Cedric is, with Dark Mane. And here is where the kill is. So they're very, very close. I think they might reunite. This is going to be fascinating. And they're not, Dark Mane's not at Sandy Patch. I do apologise. It's hard to stay on and off the radio when it's not your sighting. So that's just an update. We're sitting at Chitwa, and this afternoon we've got special permission to come to the Nkuhuma sighting early at 2:30 and just spend that first sort of hour with them to identify who's there, who's not there, how many cubs. I believe there should be 7 cubs, but I absolutely could be wrong on that one. And just get IDs, who's suckling, who's not, and just get a body count. Just let the excitement die down this morning, and then this afternoon we'll head out and I'll run through everyone. We'll try and get an ID on absolutely every single lioness and lion that is there. You can imagine the buzz here. People haven't seen the Nkuhumas in so long, and of course the cubs. So let's not put too much pressure on the sighting. We're just going to enjoy this, and then we'll come back this afternoon and we are going to go through who's there and who's not. What an unexpected morning. Rexon said, I think the Nkuhumas are on the property. You check Mamba, Lauren. I'm going to go this way. So we're both working the area, and lo and behold, Rexon finds them on a kill with the babas. I mean, it's now 2021. 2 years since our sort of Nkuhuma boom. The first litter that we got in 2019 was Ridge-Nose Lioness in May. Then it went to Amber Eyes in July 2019. Then we had Purple Eyes in August 2019. And then Chella was a lot later in December. Ah, such great news. We're just going to sit by the dam for a little while and just relax. We're sitting by Chitwa Dam, just enjoying relaxing for the morning. There's no need to talk because the dam is so alive. All the birds are calling, hippos are grunting. We're just going to sit here and enjoy this moment together and listen to all the sounds around the water body. Isn't it just beautiful? I always feel so relaxed when I come here.
Welcome back to Phinda, everyone. And we're here at one of my favorite places on the reserve. So it might look like just a hole in the ground, but this is actually an active hyena den. So at the moment, there's no activity around it at the moment. We know that here there are 3 hyena cubs that are in that hole at the moment that we're looking at. So they'll be all wrapped up and warm. And then later on, they'll spend most of the day there, and then later on into the evening, they might come out, and normally they've got a little bit of energy, and they might start playing and eating some of the sticks, just playing around with them. And there's also some slightly older hyenas, some sub-adults, which normally come out and make an appearance in the evenings, and then there's adults around as well. So there's 3 different age groups that are hanging around in this area at this den. And when they're small, they're really black, almost pitch black. And as they get older, they slowly start getting that classic spot pattern that we've seen on hyena, like you've seen this morning with Lauren. So it's just a beautiful spot, and we thought we'd just come past here this morning. Sometimes in the mornings, the cubs are out, but this morning we haven't managed to find them. But it's also just a beautiful spot, so we're going to sit here for just a few minutes, listen to some of the birds that are calling. We've got some somber greenbills calling, and I also thought this would be a good chance just to show you a little bit of a map of Phinda, so where we've been driving. So we were driving down here along the Mzanene River this morning, this mighty big river. And then this hyena den that we're at is just over here. So each of these different colors on the map is a different habitat type here on Phinda. So we've got the beautiful Lobombo Mountains and the Mzanene River, which actually feeds into the top of False Bay, Lake St. Lucia, and ultimately goes into the sea. So I just thought I'd show you kind of where we are, and we're down in the southern section of the reserve at the moment. But hopefully, as you keep watching with WildEarth, we'll be able to spend a little bit more time exploring some of the other areas of Phinda. And who knows, hopefully we'll even be able to come back to this den at some point and see if we can see these cubs often in the afternoon. So you'll need to stay with us and keep watching into the afternoons and see if there's a chance of us coming back and finding these cubs. But it's really just awesome to come to an area like this, because you never know what you might find. And you might find that adults have been out in the evenings. Hyenas often do quite a bit of scavenging in other places, like in the Sabi sands, for example. But over here on Phinda, they actually do quite a lot of hunting on their own. So they're in slightly smaller clans here on Phinda, normally around 8, 10, 12 individuals. And they're really effective hunters, using kind of endurance to do a lot of their hunting. So they'll just keep running at an animal until eventually that animal gets tired, and they're able to get to it. And they've got an extremely interesting social structure. So hopefully if we are able to come back here on one of the other shows and find these hyena cubs, we can chat a little bit more about it. But I think for now we're just going to probably move out of the area and see if we can go find anything else. And so we're going to link back to Cedric and his honey badger.
Yeah, so we are still with our honey badger, still lying down there. You can see the grey part of on top of the body there. This is called aposematic coloration. So you see that often with insects as well, where they have bright colors. It's actually to warn any predators that they might have some poison or secretion that might be toxic. So the honey badgers do have a very smelling secretion that they use to mark territories, and also they can expel it in self-defense, and it smells quite strong. one thing what is quite interesting as well, we can feign death. If they feel that they are quite in danger, they can like fake death, so they like basically looking dead, and any other predator trying to kill it will lost interest. Looked like it's funny. I think he's enjoying the sun this morning, just lying there and spending time in the sun, warming up. It is quite cold at night at the moment, so yeah, we're really hoping that he's going to move a bit. I really would like to know if they climb trees. I'm not sure. I've been seeing some funny videos of honey badger that sometimes push stuff like a broom. Where it was a tame honey badger in a cage, but push the broom to climb on the broom to go out of the cage. So I'm sure they can climb at one extent. I don't know how good they are as climbers, but they are quite intelligent, and if they want to get somewhere, they will climb and see how high they can go. But they are very short limbed, so it's a little bit difficult for them to climb trees, I assume. But I'm guessing they can climb quite pretty well, depending on the tree, obviously. I think if it's a large tree, it will be a bit difficult and very steep tree. But if it's a smaller branch, a bit at an angle, then they will be okay to climb. I never saw one climbing myself. Yeah, the thing is with these animals, when you don't see them quite often, it's quite rare, you spend a little bit less time studying them, and you relearn again when you found them again. So it's quite nice also to see them and just reinterpret their behavior and read a bit more about them again. It's like I never saw one just lying in the open like that in the sun and just resting there. Oh, looks like he's going to rest here. Family 8 years old, thank you very much for your question. You would like to know if they lay eggs or they give birth to babies. They do give birth to babies. And as I was saying earlier, it would have been very nice if one day we can see babies, honey badger. They must be very cute, I'm sure. I saw some pictures of it, I think, of a honey badger carrying the baby in his mouth, a bit like the lions do sometimes. Yeah, so normally they have two young. It would be quite interesting to see two little young honey badger playing and jumping on the mother. Just come on, stand up and start running or something. I love to see them move, the way they walk and run. It's very, very entertaining. It's a bit sad that there's a bit of grass in front of his head there. Would be nice if he can lift his head a bit. Okay, so we'll sit with it and see if it does anything.
Gilman Williams is an 11-year-old girl from Austin, Texas, and we think she's amazing. At only 7 years of age, Kate went on safari and since then has become part of a new generation of kids who are fighting for animals. She has written a book, offered extensive support for a number of conservation projects, and recently teamed up with Microsoft to start a club. Kate believes that advocacy has no age limit and that if she waits until she's an adult, then it may be too late. Join Kate, who has traveled from Texas to sit with Lauren at the fire to discuss her work and how her generation can become part of the solution.
Hello everyone, my name is Trishala and I am a naturalist and safari guide here in Djuma Game Reserve in the Sabi Sands in South Africa. I think that the information that we provide and most importantly the questions that you ask give both you and I a really good idea of what's going on. My friend Fernando here, he's a flat-necked chameleon and I love them. They're just these gems that you manage to find in the bush.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
I've seen something I've never seen here before. Look at these cubs. One is crossing the river. It's being washed away, unfortunately, but I'm sure the mother is going to save her. Look at that. How beautiful. Look at that. One crossing, two to go. How cool is this?
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
My name is Lauren and I'm currently working in Djuma Private Game Reserve here in South Africa. I love answering your questions during the live safaris. It's my favorite part. It feels like you're on the vehicle with me and I'm able to teach you exactly what you want to know. If you want to ask a question on WildEarth, then you need to register on our website. Once registered, you must go to the live safari page and ask your question below the live feed.
From predator to prey, we found some buffalo. Actually, not some. I think it's a lot. They're just on the eastern side of the Mowati embankment, just slightly north from where we had Kalamba the other day. Very close to the lions. I really don't know what the Nkuhumas have killed. Naturally, we're going to spend time there this afternoon just trying to have a more peaceful sighting. I don't know if they are on a buffalo or a wildebeest or a zebra. I really didn't get the chance to see anything, I'm afraid. But this buffalo herd is really, really close to where the Nkuhumas are right now. Sandwiched in between Treehouse Dam, where Darkmane is, and Gwen's Den, where the Nkuhumas and the two other Avokas are. But I could be wrong because, as you know, we freelance now, so we come and go. So I could be wrong, but I really don't think we've had all three Avoca males on the same property in a really long time. I think when when Mohawk and Blondie have been here, Darkmane's always been up in Buffelshoek. But I could be wrong because I'm not always here, but I'm pretty sure it's been a very long time since we've had the three boys on the property. And it really is believed that they are still a coalition, and Darkmane's now seeking them, he's needing them. The S8 male is up in Buffelshoek. Kruger males are coming in to the eastern side of Buffelshoek. Lots of clashes going on between prides. But we don't know. Again, this is just speculation. The lion dynamics will change. Everything will change. But it's just interesting to see if these boys will reunite. I naturally hope they will. The Avokas arrived early 2018. I arrived later in 2018. So I've watched these boys come in as young boys with a sort of straggly mane. It wasn't full, it wasn't big. And then just watched them develop into the male lions that we know today. I think it might be a buffalo that they're on. They followed the buffalo from Cheetah Plains. They were on Cheetah Plains yesterday evening, the Nkuhumas, so they've come further west. They followed the buffalo. And with a pride where females are lactating, females are possibly pregnant, there's lots of cubs, they need substantial amounts of food. Lactation, rearing, pregnancy takes up a lot of energy from a female. They need to eat, so a buffalo would really be the perfect sort of meal for the Nkuhuma pride right now. We're sitting right next to twin dams. You can hear all the bird calls. It's almost exactly where we had Kalamba. Oh, they're coming down, Beaks. They're coming down into the Mowati. I wonder if they're going to come to twin dams to drink. Oh, it's definitely not going to be an immediate thing, but Gabby, I would believe so. They have a really, really powerful sense of smell. But it does depend on a number of factors. They're really not too far away from the lions, but it also does depend on wind strength, wind direction. It really does depend on a lot, but I would believe so. I would really think that these buffalo know that the lions are not too far away. But again, they also may not. They may have even seen the lions last night if the lions tried to chase this herd. But they really do, I think my point is that they really do have a powerful sense of smell. It's the nose that they rely on out of all the senses. Oh, they're running. They've completely changed direction. Herds are really reactive and easily spooked. I absolutely love the Talamati Pride, and I've got to know them. It's taken time, but I've really got to know them, know individuals. But it's really nice to see the Nkuhumas. The Nkuhumas were the only lion pride that I knew for a very long time. Spent hours with them. But then, of course, dynamics changed. What a morning this has been. We are going to send you guys back over to Cedric as the honey badger's on the move.
were busy driving around here. Okay. So he decided to go drink, and they move quite fast. So I did try to reposition, and then he started moving again. It doesn't seem to be 100% fit, so I'm not sure what's going on. It is quite an unusual behavior for them to be so relaxed during the day like that. It is so nice to see one drink, but maybe he's drinking so much water, maybe it doesn't feel very well. There is a disease that can affect animal behavior, which is called rabies. So sometimes when animals are very shy, and they can get very relaxed, and also when they are normally active at night, they start being active during the day. So it's changing their behavior. I'm not saying that this honey badger have rabies. I'm just explaining that sometimes some disease can affect the behavior of animals. How cool it is to see him drink like that. He's drinking quite a lot. I'm not sure how much water we can drink. We'll have to try to move again. It's going behind us. If we end up in the bushes, I might just leave him alone. Yeah. We did spend quite a nice amount of time with him, so. Yeah, it looks like you want maybe to go lie. Alien, this has been your best sighting of a honey badger. Yeah, thank you. That was very, very nice. I'm very happy about that. It was probably my best sighting of a honey badger as well, spending so much time with a honey badger. I think what is cool is that Lauren got one at night, and we saw the behavior of a honey badger at night, digging, looking for food. And now we got one during the day, drinking and just wandering around. Yeah, I hope you saw also that sighting with Lauren. Yeah, it moved up there. I think maybe we'll continue. I can still see it, so maybe I will reposition a bit on the other side of the dam. Maybe we can have a last look. Can't see it anymore, huh? Do you have a visual? Yeah. Cool. Oh, there it is. You want to lie down again. Yeah, and the nice part is that, yeah, Darkman is just on the other side of the dam. He went to lie in the grass there. Shame. Yeah, what a morning. Lions with cubs. Lions at Ngala. We found Dogman. And now the only badger. I'm still looking to try to get a very good sighting of a leopard. Since I arrived about 3 days ago, I had only one quick sighting of Tlalomba. So I would love to be able to have quite a nice sighting of one of the leopards here. Oh, you might be still be around this afternoon. So maybe what we will do this afternoon, we'll probably come back to check on Darkmane anyway. So hopefully if he's still in the area, he might start being mobile as well. And we can spot that honey badger again. Okay, so I think we will let it be and just relax there in the shade. And maybe us will continue on drive on a bumble and try to see if we can find maybe a leopard, never know.
Cool, welcome back everybody. Very, very cool to have such a nice long time with a honey badger. More often they're not quite shy and skittish, so very, very nice to see that. So I've just kind of driven around in the east here, went along the boundary. We saw where the lions actually crossed out. And there were lots of hyena tracks around, lots of hyenas calling as well. So my guess would be there's a big carcass somewhere. And depending on the size of the Kruger, those lions might be on that carcass for days. Might be an elephant carcass, maybe a big buffalo as well would be. At least a buffalo will be a bit quicker than a week or so, but if it's a big elephant carcass and it's still fresh, those lions might be in there for a week or so. It is slightly out of the Birmingham Pride's territory, so they might get chased back into here. But we're gonna have to just wait and see, you know. I reckon those lions this morning must have either heard hyenas going mad at the carcass making lots of noise, and then they just kind of followed it. I mean, they heard it from kilometers away and they just went straight north. And I reckon by the time those hyenas, or by the time the lions got there, the hyenas must have been quite frustrated because they would have just run in there and there was like 20 lions. They would have just chased all the hyenas off. There's quite a few males as well. They would have chased all the hyenas off and just taken over the carcass. Whatever it is, they would have taken over completely. So yeah, I'm just keep going. Now I'm heading back down south, back towards the river. See what, anything else, any interesting things. Looking for some elephants. I think that would be quite nice to see this morning.
We're still sitting with the buffalo. One has made that epic journey across the Mulwati Drive riverbed, but I'm hoping they all do. I'm hoping they all come down the embankment, come over and possibly drink. They are water dependent. It would be lovely to see them all at Twin Dams. And there was a study by the University of Stellenbosch, and I think it's a little bit outdated now. I think it was from around 2016, that looked at BTB, which is bovine tuberculosis. And it showed that roughly, or an estimate at least, 80% of the Kruger lions are carriers of this TB, which naturally has come from the buffalo. And BTB, which is just a little bit easier than saying bovine tuberculosis, is a really slow progressing disease. And from the time of infection to the time of death normally is estimated at anywhere between 2 to 5 years. It's not fast. And the majority of the Kruger lions appear completely healthy. It's almost as if they can be carriers of the disease and without having any symptoms. But lions with symptoms who are being affected, with really advanced BTB will show symptoms like swollen joints or slow healing wounds, poor coat condition, weight loss, even coughing. They can cough, and just general sort of respiratory difficulties with breathing. And lions become infected because they eat buffaloes that are affected. And the figure that was estimated by the study was around 50%, in the region of 40 to 50 of the buffaloes tested that were actually tested using molecular studies in the southern part of the Kruger were positive for BTB. And naturally, the buffalo is one of the top prey species for lions. And buffaloes that are suffering from BTB will naturally be a little bit weaker, a little bit slower, and may lag behind the herd. So that's perfect for the lions. That's the buffalo that the lions are going to go for. So naturally, they will become sort of infected with BTB from those buffalo that already have that. And a recent study suggested that lions might be able to sort of transmit the bacteria between themselves as well, which is not ideal. And the biggest concern out in the wild, I guess, is not knowing. Not knowing, you can't see it immediately, especially if the lion's just a carrier. Not knowing which of the animals are positive in order to try and control the spread. Or keep those sort of buffalo with BTB separate. It's fascinating. The study's online from Stellenbosch. It's from 2016, so the figures aren't entirely up to date. It's very, very prevalent out here, BTB. They're not moving, are they? I wonder if they did have an encounter with Djuma Pride last night. Moondust, very possibly. I believe no medical sort of treatments are available right now, at least for the lions. But absolutely, science is advancing all the time. But again, it depends on the scenario, Moondust, because diseases in the natural kingdom, they are present for a reason. Animals like ticks are vectors of disease, mosquitoes, and they do transmit it throughout the animal kingdom for a reason. Diseases are essentially nature's way of controlling populations. And of course, once humans get involved in a scenario, it becomes a little bit messier, but generally speaking, diseases will always be present. They will always be prevalent within the animal kingdom. Imagine if all the populations of lions just went out of control, just lions everywhere. It's not sustainable or realistic. Nature has its own way of dealing with populations and ecosystem balance, and disease is one way of that. So yes, depending on the scenario, I know that they try to vaccinate a lot of the Ethiopian wolves because they do suffer from canine distemper that's passed on from domestic dogs, rabies, because there's only 500 wolves left. The wolves are struggling, so man has stepped in, and it's fascinating research that they're doing up there. But yes, possibly medication will advance and develop, but I think with regards to implementing it, it really is situational dependent. although we want to save every animal, and trust me, I do. Some of you will remember the damselfly sighting Davy and I had at Twin Dams, where she was drowning. I just wanted to jump out, wade into that little pan, because I know it's safe, and pick her out. And that's a damselfly, and that's how I felt. It's an innate drive for most humans to care on that level, but it's not always realistic that human intervention should happen, especially when we are just mere observers out here. We're just observers. This is not our ecosystem. We're just entering into the wild to observe the wild, to watch the wild, to learn from the wild. But yes, moon dust. Very good point. Hillary, yes, 100%. Mother Nature is amazing, incredible. Every day I learn something new and it just blows my mind. Every day I take on some sort of new perspective or try to learn about something that is different from what I normally talk about. And Hillary, yes, Mother Nature's amazing, and we have to avoid tampering and intervening and ruining a system that's already functioning quite happily without us. Now, that's a massive generalization. I do understand there's different circumstances and different scenarios, but across the board, we have to let things play out, as hard as that is. And yes, it's very hard, even for us. Not every animal will survive. Survival is tough. Humans have got it easy compared to a lot of species out here, doing whatever they can to survive. I always try to think of that. Think of that individual or that species and just think what lengths they are going to ensure their own survival and the survival of their offspring. It really makes you appreciate the wild so much more.
Living dolphin at 3 hours down is currently...
And it does sound a little bit cheesy, but I mention this regularly. Don't want to sound like a broken record, but just every animal that you come across, no matter where it is, try and think of what their superpower is. Try and learn a little bit about them. What is their survival technique? What are they so good at that allows them to navigate their world? Each animal has their own reality. Some species taste with their feet, some see with their ears. Some hear with vibrations. And that's just way beyond anything that we can comprehend. So try and just understand. And that's what I did with spiders. And now I don't want one crawling on my body, but I fully appreciate them so much. I literally overcame my fear, and I didn't think I would ever face my fears that way. And I did. I was terrified when I first came here. From the agamas, to the fish, to the flatworms, to the nudibranchs, plankton, mosquitoes, swallows. All across the board, every individual species has its own superpower that is allowing them to survive and thrive. I think we are going to leave these buffaloes soon. I don't think they're going anywhere, and see what else we can find in the reserve.
One thing that WildEarth strives to achieve is to connect kids with our natural world. One person who agrees with this is Kate, an 11-year-old girl who founded Kids Can Save Animals to help inspire her generation to help mend the planet. Her motto is that kids may be young, but age does not define your impact. Kate is coming all the way from America to join us at Djuma for a live safari. She wants to connect with all of the WildEarth kids, answer your questions, and help you understand that there are plenty of ways that you can make a difference regardless of your age. So join us on the 4th of August at 2:30 p.m. Central African Time for a very special kids safari. As one of the industry's best and Fagasa endorsed training institutes, NJ Moorfield Guide College produces professional guides of exceptional caliber and gives students from around the world an incredible experience. NJ Moore offers courses to suit all types of interests. The full-length career course results in a Fagasa accredited qualification and the option of a 6-month internship at one of Moore Family Collection's luxury safari lodges. Shorter courses are a great introduction for those considering a career in field guiding or even a life-enriching experience in your gap year. With spaces still available in July, don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to live your African dream.
You are cheeky. That was a brave decision. Amber Eyes is... Oh. That is so magic. That was absolutely wonderful. Amber Eyes just gave that cub an enormous hug.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Welcome back, everybody. So, kind of just found this herd of elephants, which are really nice. They're just super relaxed, feeding. There are a couple of little ones. What we have here is a big cow, one of the bigger females, and she's just happily feeding on predominantly grass. Look at this little one. Ears out, showing us just how big he is. Smelling. Looks like he's just really worked out how to use that trunk. Doesn't even look like he's worked it out properly just yet. Not veering too far away from Mom, but just... I love how he uses that little trunk. Trying to put it up in the air. I'm sure he's watched Mom many times put a trunk up to smell what's coming. And the wind is kind of squalling. It's changing direction all the time. And you might get a little scent of us sitting over here from time to time, and that'll be an interesting and new scent to that one. Look at how he's kind of standing on that bush. Wonder if he hasn't got an itch. And see, we take having hands for granted. I mean, they do have a really amazing trunk that can be so dexterous to pick up a small individual fruit and strong enough to push over and pull over big trees and branches. But that little one doesn't 100% have the use of the trunk waxed just yet. I'm sure it's in the process of it, and you'll see it takes a long time. I mean, elephant trunks are amazing things, actually. They've got an unbelievable amount of muscles in there, which takes a long time to develop how to work those muscles. They say about 40,000 muscles in an elephant's trunk. And you'll see an elephant up until about a year old spends almost all of that time trying to work out how to use its trunk and develop those muscles and strengthen them up so that they can use the trunk as if it should be used. I mean, even watch this female. Watch how she grabs the grass at the bottom there, kind of like grips it just like an arm or a hand. stroke it against herself, get rid of any sand or mud that might be at the bottom of the grass after she's pulled it out. I mean, you don't really want to be eating the sand. You just want to be getting as much of the nutrients from the grass itself. Beautiful light on this elephant as well. I'm sure she's enjoying the warmth that the sun has brought. Has been a bit chilly this morning. The wind is also starting to pick up. And wherever the wind is coming from, it's coming from a cold area because the wind is quite chilly. It's icy, in fact. And you'll see if she was quite cold, she might even stand facing the sun and open those great big ears of hers towards the sun, allowing fresh blood to be passed through the ears. And once those ears warm up, it warms the blood. The blood then gets pumped throughout her body, warming her up. And she's an incredibly large animal, so it takes a long time for her to heat up and to cool down. Summertime, they spend a lot of time trying to keep themselves cool. And you need to utilize the energy as efficiently as you can. An elephant is a great big animal with quite a poor digestive system, in fact. So they have to find themselves looking for food, although it's all around them, and feeding almost all day and all night. They need very little rest as well. So you see these elephants almost always feeding. They might even try and get some rest while feeding. If they find a really good spot, or hang around in that area for some time, might try and close their eyes for moments at a time and get some rest. And I mean, an elephant is such a big animal, big and grey, and you would think that it would be impossible for an elephant to hide. So how old do I think that elephants would have to be before they master the use of their trunk? You see, they start to get quite a good grasp on how to use their trunk around a year old, but it may take several years before they properly develop it. And you'll see as they get bigger and stronger, those muscles develop. And only once they're much bigger and stronger will they have full kind of strength and use of that trunk. And that might be many years. I mean, a small elephant's not going to be pushing over and pulling over big trees or branches at a young age. But it will be doing that or need to do that when it gets a bit older. So that might take 10 years or so to really get a full grasp of it, and even longer than that to get the full strength capacity or capabilities of the trunk. So I was saying how big elephants are, and you think that you could not miss an elephant or lose an elephant in the bush, but have a look at this kind of scene. I mean, this elephant's not that far away from us, probably around 30 meters, and just in the bush seems to be hidden. It's not trying to hide at all. Kind of use your sense of hearing more than anything to kind of follow elephants when they move into the bushes like this. You can just see those ears moving from time to time. Her trunk is kind of swishing this grass, getting rid of the dirt. You can hear it quite clearly. She's pushing up against the branch as well, that you can hear kind of creaking. And if she pushes up against it enough, it might even break, which will bring our attention towards elephants maybe that are in the area. And as I'm saying that, there are other elephants feeding and moving around. And I can't see them, but I can certainly hear them. They're doing very similar things to what this elephant is doing. Feeding, pulling out grass. Okay, so I'm probably going to keep going. Let these elephants continue feeding and going on. I'll send you over to Dean at Phinda.
Welcome back to Phinda, everyone. And we found another herd of buffalo. And look on the back of that one, how many birds there are. And if you see those red beaks, and you might actually be able to hear them calling. I'll keep quiet for a little bit. But those are red-billed oxpeckers that are all over the buffalo this morning, catching a bit of sun, catching a ride, and also getting a little bit of food as they're feeding on the ticks that are on these buffalo. And there's some adults, some young ones still playing, enjoying the morning sun. And we were discussing the other day how they're almost chocolate colored. They look almost like chocolate cows. And I think that's actually where chocolate milk comes from, is from those young little buffalo calves. But I'm going to try and move a little bit further forward and see if we can get a bit of a better view. Well, there's a few more to the right. Glenn might try pan to the right and see if we can get a view of those in the morning sun. Beautiful. Look at that. You can see how that one, the back of shot is grazing, so it's feeding on the grass. And buffalo actually feed quite high up on the grass, as you can see there. And they're quite important for the different areas in which they go. They help increase the carrying capacity, which means they help increase the number of other animals you can have on a reserve. Number one, because they eat the taller grasses, which make them slower, which allow other herbivores to feed on them. And number two, they're big and heavy, so they break up the soils, which allows the nutrient recycling to happen a little bit quicker. Really nice to see them here on Phinda, and the Phinda buffalo story is quite a special one. And you were discussing earlier with Lauren bovine tuberculosis. So in this area, bovine tuberculosis was a really big problem, and a lot of the buffalo also had bovine tuberculosis. But my father and his team went about setting up a program to test, essentially, if the buffalo did still have bovine tuberculosis. And they basically injected the buffalo with a small amount of tuberculum, which will allow them to find out if it does have tuberculosis, and then they'll measure the skin. And if the animal does react to the tuberculum that they've introduced into it, the skin will get thicker, and then they'll know that that animal does actually have TB or tuberculosis. So they did that, and it took 8 years from start to finish, all of the legislation to get buffalo here on Phinda. So to have them is something quite incredible, and it's really kind of paved the way for the reserves here in the northeastern part of South Africa, as now tuberculosis-free buffalo are found readily across the area. And a lot of that was thanks to Phinda and the early people who are putting a lot of effort and energy into getting them here. But I'm going to try and move a little bit further forward and see if we can see some of those other ones in the sun. Quite a lot of bushes between us and the buffalo, but let's see if Glenn will be able to find any of them. There we go. Beautiful. And you can still see the oxpeckers sitting on their backs there. And we're not too far from a watering hole here, so I think these buffalo might have headed down earlier this morning to have a drink, and now we can see that they're slowly moving through the bush grazing. So I think that's probably what they'll do for the best part of the morning. Into the afternoon they might sit down and rest a little bit later on and ruminate, so that's when they're chewing the grass over and over again, swallowing a little piece of it and then bringing it back up so that they can get as much nutrients out of the grass as they can. Kathy, that's a great question. So there's a few reasons why you'd move animals from one reserve to another. And the main one is essentially to help set up other breeding populations of those particular animal. So for example, the buffalo here, we discussed how they were now tuberculosis free. and that's quite a difficult thing to attain. Like I said, it takes a long time. You have to test a lot of the buffalo. So now that we know that they are tuberculosis-free, we want to basically share that and spread these tuberculosis-free buffalo to different areas. So we'll then move out small herds and allow them hopefully to grow into their own big herds. And that's ultimately what conservation's about. It's ideally we'd like to link as many conservation areas as we can. But if we can't link all of the conservation areas, what we can try to do is move animals between the reserves. So apart from setting up these other populations, it also is good for the genetics, because it then means that the animals will be breeding with other individuals and bringing in new genes, which will strengthen the genetic pool. You can see this sickle bush that they're moving through. There's quite a lot of long grass as well. But I think for now we're going to leave this herd of buffalo moving away from the road and see if we can find something else this morning.
We've arrived at Gowrie Dam, but the wind is really picking up now. It's always quite a windy spot up here, but it's a nice spot. You see the birds, the hippo, the water body, the monitor lizards. I'm just going to let you guys enjoy it and let BK work his magic around the dam. Is definitely picking up, but we're going to sit here. It's a perfect place to sit for the morning.
Cool. Welcome back to andBeyond Ngala, everybody. We've just found one of the other Ross males. This is the one that we were with first this morning, and he's just kind of got to this part of the watering hole here that he's hesitant about crossing. Let's see what he does. Let's see if he doesn't try and jump across here. Lions don't love getting their paws wet. I might actually just edge it. Oh, are you going to do it now? Let's watch what he does. Look at him. He's just pacing up and down trying to find... Oh, big jump. Whoa. That was quite efficient, eh? Just wet his paws a little bit. Still flicking up some water. Pretty amazing to watch that, actually. It's been a crazy lion morning. I just popped up to this watering hole to have a look if anything had come down, and this male is now on his way directly north to follow everybody else. There must be a very large carcass up in the north. Let's try and see if I can loop around and get ahead of him one more time here, because he's about to go past the watering hole. where everybody else went this morning, and it's a pretty tricky area. So we might only be able to have one or two more good looks at him. Let me just loop around here. I know he's coming quite quickly, but here he does come. Quite amazing. He's hopefully going to walk right past us here. See his mane kind of blowing in the wind there. That's probably blowing the scent of the carcass that he's looking for straight towards him. So Freddie, I just touched on the wind that was blowing in his mane. The wind is blowing straight from there to where he is now. There's also, they've got an incredibly good sense of hearing. And when I went up there this morning to find where those other lions crossed, there were so many hyena tracks and lots of hyenas like calling loudly. If he hears hyenas calling like that, he will respond to that. And I think once he keeps going, I mean, the lions this morning crossed on the other side of the watering hole, but he's about to get to the same place where they went over, and he'll pick up the scent of there, and he will head straight there, just following his nose. So let's try one more time to get around here. I think this is going to be a good spot. We can watch him from a fair distance as he comes through to us. There he is. Incredibly proud male, and look, he's just walking. That mane blowing, you can see the wind's blowing from behind us to him, very likely bringing that scent. He's going to walk right past us here. He's still got a long way to go. Yes, that's amazing. There are a couple of impalas that are behind us. I can hear them alarm calling at him. They would have seen him, and they'll alarm call. Let's see if we can't get one more view here. Try and do a quick little juggle around. Yo, lots of grass seeds fly up into your eyes out of there. If he's going to go up that game path there. Let's see. Oh, might have to change gears here. Sorry. Through the sand, you've got to go into low range, or else the vehicle's not going to be going anywhere. And how easy is it going to be for us to loop around here? No, I think fairly easy. See, he doesn't worry too much about the trees and the bushes, he just keeps going. Let's see, I'm sure he's going to use this path here. So Morgan's just saying, you're saying he's gone up. Oh, there he goes. He's changed paths. Slightly. This is a seriously prominent game path. I can't believe he's changed off of it. Let's see if we can't find the game path that he's now on. Whoopsie. What? Let's try a slightly different route here. He's not worried about the trees and things, so he's sticking to his pace. I'm going to have to try and get around here quite quickly if we want to have another look at him. Okay, I've just seen a whole lot of lion tracks on this path here, so I'm sure he's going to put his nose down and follow them. Let's see if I can get around here quick enough. Oopsie, that's a big tree. There he comes. Yes, yeah, that's so cool. Oh, don't do that, mate. There he goes. I'm going to try and get one more spot. Just walking through the bushes, through the grass, super camouflaged. Not too worried about those impalas alarm calling. He's not on the hunt. If he came into an opportunity that he couldn't resist, he would take it down. But he's got one thing on his mind, and that's to follow the rest of the pride and get to that area just out of our boundary, unfortunately. As he is going north, this might be our last little shot here. Last chance before he heads into an area that's just unmanageable. See? Oof, yeah, that doesn't sound good. But here he comes. On a serious mission. So I'm going to let him continue on his mission. I'm pretty sure I know exactly where he's going. And he's still got about 4 kilometers to go. But isn't it amazing to watch this big male just walk through the grass like that, dominating wherever he goes?
The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, encourages people to care for the earth. Through innovative projects, they aim to reverse the serious issues that we face in the world today. One of these projects is Green Coast, a proudly South African award for sensitive and well-managed coastal sites. This sustainability project protects our national coastlines while providing unemployed youth with a love for their environment and a hope for the future. WESA is a membership and volunteer-supported organisation. Every supporter is helping to change the only earth we have. Visit our website to see how you can help care for our earth.
Oh, it's going to be in trouble now. Oh, this is unbelievable stuff. Here comes a hippo in too. Go, Impala. There's a hippo coming in. I can't believe what we're seeing here. This is what we normally see in East Africa. It's all over. Hippo leaping at the crocodile now. Everything's gone underwater.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Now we've stopped by quarantine. With all the lying activity, you never know, the leopards might be moving elsewhere. And it's not a drive if you don't look at Impala, right? But I really am very excited for this afternoon. We'll try and identify the exact number of cubs, as I mentioned, because things change, things can happen. Try and ID all the mothers, try and ID who is there, who is not there. Of course, we know the 2 boys are there, we saw them. I mean, they're easy to identify, but it was definitely a buffalo thereon, confirmed. But it didn't look like there was that much left, so I really am hoping they are all there this afternoon. The minute they cross Gowrie Main, it's a different story for us. Stay on Djuma, guys. There's just a lot more traffic in the south. It's not so easy to manage, but I'm really hoping by the time we go out, they all go to sleep. They have a lovely cat nap, literally. And by the time we go out at 2:30, we can spend some time with them just figuring out who's who. This this wind has really, really picked up, which is going to keep it nice and cool today. It's not ideal when you want animals to stay put. Push, babe, you're seeing it's been a lion cub population explosion overnight in this area, for sure. I don't know exactly when the cubs were born, but they're older now. They're very mobile. They're on a kill with the adults, all the adults. They're definitely not newborn little cubs, but they're still very small. However, the noise, the vocalizations that was coming from these tiny little cubs, my goodness, they can make some noise. But at least for Djuma, that's great news. The Nkohumas used to be here every single day. In fact, all the danes that we found from the lionesses that I mentioned earlier were on Djuma. Ridge Nose. Where was Ridge Nose Den? Jamie and Tristan worked on that one. Purple Eye was found in the Mulwati, around Twin Dams area. Amber Eyes was in the Mulwati, but more north, around Nyala Road South. Chile was literally next to Chelapan. They were all daning on Djuma, and it was such an exciting time. And then, of course, it's just a natural shift. They started to push them south. And we just don't get to see them that often. But their territory is also huge. They're seen all over, just not so much on Djuma anymore. So this morning was very special. Okay, we're going to sit on quarantine a little bit longer, but we are going to send you guys over to Dean.
Welcome back to Phinda, everyone. And we've found a group of giraffe, or a journey of giraffe, out here in this open area. And have a look at that one, chewing from side to side, just staring, ears out, listening. How beautiful is that, eh? 3 giraffe, different sizes, all next to each other. Have a look at that long tail dangling down almost to the grass. You can see how the two in the middle of picture now are both looking at us. That one on the left still got quite fluffy horns, still a little bit younger than the one on the right. And look at that, in that shot you can see the giraffe on the right, the spots are quite well defined, whereas the one on the left, they're a lot more ragged. And it's incredible to see that variation in the spots of the giraffe. Even though they're the same type, they're the same species, their spots look a little bit different. Look at that one just chewing along. So just like we were mentioning earlier with the buffalo, this giraffe's busy chewing the foliage that it's eaten, and now it'll swallow that, and then it might bring it back up and chew it again, which gives it the best possible chance to get as much nutrients as possible. But you can see that sideways, slow motion, really grinding up the foliage that it's eaten. And you can see how the head's sticking out just above those trees over there. So those trees is most likely what it was feeding on. A little shake of the head. It was obviously something that irritating a little bit. And that's where they get their Zulu name, Ndlula Miti, which means above the trees, basically. Because their head sticks out above the trees like that. Beautiful to see that mane. and they'll be moving around in these herds. It's no real fixed social structure, so they'll be changing. They're dynamic. The bulls will move in and out, the females will move in and out. Of course, the mothers with their babies will stay together. But other than that, these journeys are changing. But it's been a wonderful morning this morning, and yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed it across the different reserves, and we really appreciate you joining us, and we hope this afternoon at 2:30 you're able to join us again here on WildEarth. For some more action-packed evenings. Who knows what's going to be out there? We know that coming to you live from the bush, every driver is different. Every driver is unique, and it's something really quite special. And out here at Phinda, we'll keep looking for magic in the mundane, and at all of the other reserves, there's magic all around us. So let's just keep on looking for it. And as these giraffe are slowly saying goodbye to us, we're going to slowly start doing the same. So thank you to all of us from here at WildEarth, and we'll see you all later this afternoon.